right. Welcome back. Welcome back. We back again. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. Yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Check it. The topic of tonight is sometimes you just gotta take a step back, reset, and find yourself, man, to get back to creativity. Starring Cam Muir. If you know, I've been watching him. He's been doing a couple of different things in the content creator dome area, arena, whatever you want to call it. If you haven't checked out his YouTube, let me go ahead and take a look. Let me show you. So Cam, this guy is on fire. He created his own content agency, which I think is amazing. I think it's dope. And he showed the whole process, He went through the whole process, showed it. And if you go on his page, you can see it yourself. You can see what he did. See how he's still doing it right now, trying to get it proper. But today, I just want to do this, man. Today, I just want you to listen to what he has to say. It's not too long of a video, like 15 minutes. You got 15 minutes to spare. Like the video, share the videos, share the live. Let's get it cracking.
Clean caffeine, or so I'm told by the label. So if you're watching this video, you're going to realize that this is a little bit different than a lot of the other videos that I've created on my channel.
Facts.
It's very raw. I'm just shooting on my iPhone. I biked up to the top of a mountain and I hiked up even higher, and I'm kind of just spread out on a rock right here. Got all my dirt biking gear, got my boots down here, and brought up 2 cans of caffeine, already crushed one. Crushing another one right now. Don't worry, I'll bring that down. But I wanted to talk about creativity and the root of creativity. And as an agency owner, as a videographer, as a business owner, as someone that really does get paid for their creativity, and really everyone that does not work a normal job will get paid for their creativity, or more so the ideas that they bring to the marketplace and how those ideas are executed upon. And I want to talk about a little bit of the foundation on getting that creativity, because there's definitely highs and lows and different environments where creativity peaks a lot more than others. And I just want to share my own experience in a pretty raw way. Again, this isn't what I would normally post, but I haven't posted in a little while on YouTube. I feel like my creativity has been low. And I actually came all the way up here because I knew that my creativity would elevate when I'm up here. Can't get a lot of other stuff done when I'm up here on this mountain, but I think I'm at like 3,500 feet right now, around there.
Jesus.
But I am creative, and it's very quiet. I like it. You might not believe the same thing that I believe, but I believe that God is the creator of the universe. And if you want to be more creative, I think it's important to be a part of creation. I'm sitting in creation right now. I'm looking at mountains all around me as far as I can see. You might not have the opportunity to be around mountains, but I'm sure you're able to go look at a lake. I did have to drive to get out here. I'm sure you're able to go look at even just a field, go look at some trees, or even the city skyline. But I'm sure there's something that you can go look at, and that's not right there. Hopefully there's something that you can go look at and be part of creation, because I think being a part of
See, that's what I like sometimes, just seeing the raw footage. All that cutting out and editing and all that whatnot. You know what I mean? Because it lets you see all of the mishaps that you got to go through when it comes down to being a content creator. And one of those things is definitely fighting the battle with nature when you're outside and trying to figure out what you want to say, how you want to say it, but still battling things like just minuscule things like air going into the microphone and your camera not wanting to stay upright, all those things. It's funny.
I have my glove on this so that I put the mic stand on. Just so that it doesn't overheat. Okay, that should be good. So, one of the ways that I draw on my creativity, like I was saying, is just being a part of creation. And it's hard to be part of creation if you're just in your house, if you're just in your apartment, and you're just in your normal routine, because reality is society doesn't push a creative environment on you. It actually pushes the opposite. In my opinion, busyness and fear are the opposite of creativity, because in order to be creative, you need to be in your own environment, in your own mind. You need to be able to process your own thoughts. You need to be able to think your own thoughts. And if you're being bombarded by society, then it's impossible to actually realistically think your own thoughts. You might think that they're your own, but they're actually not your own thoughts. So when you put yourself, and it's not even that it's necessarily your own thoughts, it's, the higher power, it's God, it's, the creator, and being in his creation and the influence of being in his creation, those thoughts, because those thoughts are a lot more powerful than the thoughts that you're going to have when you're potentially in a city. So as a creative and as a visionary, as someone that, especially as I progress in business, I get paid for the ideas that I bring to the table and how those ideas are executed on. It's important to stay fresh, and there's going to be seasons, there's going to be highs and lows. I would say I'm definitely in a little bit of a low right now. I just had a 30-day spree of creating YouTube videos every day, and it's hard when you're running a business to also be creative, because you can't do both at the same time, at least well, to the best of your ability, because creativity requires literally nothingness, and it requires different environments. Like, different environments will yield different creative flows and different patterns. I'll be well rested and I'll be in one creative state. I'll be extremely tired, overly tired, tired beyond tired, and be in different states of creativity. I'll have caffeine, I'll have too much caffeine, I'll be in a state of different creativity than normal. I'll have nicotine and I'll be in a state of creativity. And there's a lot of different things, like I'll be biking up this hill, I'll be hiking up this hill, I'll be pushing myself to the max with cardio, and I'll be in a state of creativity. I'll be listening to music. So there's so many different environments for creativity. I think it's very important that you explore those and what those are. And I think what trumps them all is allowing yourself to be in your own head and think your own thoughts, apart from what society is feeding you, aside from what social media is feeding you, aside from what even a billboard, even an advertisement on a can might be feeding you. And just important to be in creation and in an environment that breeds creativity. And I don't think a lot of people put themselves in an environment of creativity, because busyness is the enemy of creativity. So when you're scrolling Instagram or you're scrolling TikTok, your screen time ends up becoming the enemy of creativity. I guarantee you creativity is not going to be found on your phone. Creativity comes from inspiration usually as well. And you can make the excuse of, oh, I'm being inspired by other people's lives, and I'm being inspired by, other things that I'm seeing on my phone. But it's just like, you're just seeing pixels. You're not actually seeing it. When you're out in the world, you're actually seeing a Lamborghini, you're actually seeing a nice house, you're actually in an environment that breeds creativity. It's different because it's real, and you're not like tricking yourself into believing that it's real and that it's not just pixels. It's actually real. There's more senses engaged. Like, the breeze is blowing on me right now. I'm feeling the heat of the sun. I'm experiencing the quietness of being outside. I'm feeling the feeling of having caffeine in my system. My legs are sweating because I'm in my riding pants. And it's like, those are not things that you can just trick your brain into experiencing. When you're on the street and you see a Ferrari drive by, you can hear the notes of the actual Ferrari, not played through a speaker, but through the actual exhaust in your ears. You can walk, and you're making contact with the ground. You're physically seeing it with your eyes in 3D, and the screen ends up being the enemy here of the creativity. Anything that's pushed by society kind of tends to be the enemy of creativity, because creativity is your most powerful weapon, or one of the most powerful weapons that you have. Your ability to freely think. And that's something that society is driving away from, and with everything that's being pushed, it's to keep you busy. It's to keep you in a state of stimulation, not simulation and stimulation. It's just sad. I want more people to be creative, because creativity brings some of the best things to surface, and I think we just have a massive shortage of creativity in our society because of the fact that people are living in a constant state of fear. And like, you have to realize with fear, because I know there's some of you that are probably watching this that are in a state of fear, and you have to just focus on what you can control. And I guarantee you the majority of what you're focused on when it comes to the fear that you have, you can't actually control that. So stop worrying about that. And when you're putting yourself in an environment like this, it's hard to not process through the fear and move to the next thing, right? But when you're constantly being stimulated by what's in front of you, and you're constantly being fed something, of course you're going to be obsessed with thinking about it. Of course you're going to be in a perpetual state of depression and a perpetual state of anxiety. Not only is anxiety bad for you, but it weighs on your immune system, and then it makes you unhealthy. And then when you're unhealthy, then you can't think straight. And if you can't think straight, how are you going to be creative? So it's all chain reaction. It all, plays together. And if you're not eating clean, it's going to bring you brain fog. If you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to have brain fog. And if you have brain fog, you're not going to be able to think clear. You're not going to be able to have creativity. So that plays a role in it as well. But just know that your thoughts and your creativity and your ability to freely think is one of the most powerful things that you have, despite what anyone else will tell you. And I'm not sharing that from a point of, do this, do that, but just in my own experience of what I've realized in my own life. And I'm still young. I feel like I've accomplished a decent amount at my age. I've foregone a lot of things that, the world would consider normal, in order to achieve certain things. So I'm speaking out of that experience and the wisdom of my own experiences, and partially the wisdom of other people's experiences that I've been able to witness and apply to my own life. So I guess just in closing, prioritize your own thoughts. Prioritize putting yourself in an environment to have your own thoughts, because I guarantee you the environment that you are in now, even probably watching this video, is not an environment to have your own thoughts. And you actually have to embrace yourself, journaling, thinking, praying, meditating, which is a scary thing for a lot of people because they've never done it before. They've never actually had internal dialogue. They've never actually talked to themselves, which most people would consider weird, but it's very much so. You're reasoning with yourself, you're playing out scenarios in your head, and it's like, you can't do that when you're just being bombarded all the time. Like, you have to put yourself in situations like this in order to even have that And you have to journal and get it out. And I think girls probably journal more than guys, and I think guys should definitely journal more. I'm guilty of it too. I definitely need to journal more. But yeah, I think that's all I really have. I just wanted to share my thoughts on creativity and I guess the current.
All right, so there you have it. In a bubble, he's basically letting you know if you're continuously stimulated with negativity, you're not gonna give yourself any time. You're not gonna have that time to actually be optimistic, to have any creativity. Um, I get what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Because if you live in a city, everything's moving fast. You're constantly trying to figure out what's next to make that next dollar. You know what I mean? Or you probably have to stick to a routine that continuously calls for you to use up all your energy. And you know, you were probably once when you were a kid, you lose your sense of creativity. You lose that little child in the back of your head that always told you, you know, something is possible. Let's go out and make something. Let's go out and do something. Because, you know, reality is reality. We got bills to pay. You got kids you got to take care of. Things need to get fixed. People always need you, and so forth. It's surprising to me how many people nowadays are suffering from depression and anxiety. It's like we've gotten, our culture is so comfortable, but there's so many people who are just ill because they don't have time for themselves. And having time for yourself is very important. Being able to just get away, listen to all those, I call them monkeys in the brain. I heard that somewhere and it stuck. And having all those monkeys that just throw, you know, ideas all around your head, you can never calm them down. You know what I mean? Why? Because there's always something coming up. You got to find time for yourself, please. You are very important to the world. Believe it or not. There are sometimes, you know, no, there are no sometimes. I know now that I'm expendable, right? I know I'm not shit. You ain't got to tell me that I ain't shit. Because I already know I ain't shit. But I have to wake up every single day to try and be something more than just shit. Be something more than just expendable. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to bring this to light because this is my first time watching it. I just seen a guy sitting down, and what he said, how I won back my creativity. I already knew he was gonna drop some real jewels that maybe you need to hear. You know what I mean? You might be that person, bro, who just are doing way too much and don't have time for yourself. Right? The holidays are coming up. You're going to see it a lot. People are going to be with family, yeah. But there are going to be some people who are stressed the fuck out. Huh? Don't believe me? Just go to Walmart, one of these public stores or whatever, and just sit down and watch the frantic people running in and out, running around the store, trying to get everything done for everybody else, using their energy that they thought they didn't have for the whole year on everybody else. And I'm not saying they're going to neglect themselves. Some will, you know, because some people's will is to make other people happy. So those people you have to excuse. But some people are going to stress themselves out. And it happens every year. But anyway, I don't want to be no chatty patty. Shout out to everybody that's going to watch this video. made it this far, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, all of that good stuff. I'm out of here. Y'all be good.